Hi, my name is Angela Rout, and I created this little book called Thy Heart is My Home. You can see it, I'll put it a little bit closer for you. Thy Heart is My Home. It's always backwards on the camera, but anyways. I made this little book because I was hoping that to create something that would allow families to read and have thoughtful conversation. I wanted something a little bit different than your standard typical storybook, which is wonderful too, but conversations are really important for families because they create a stronger connection between parents and children. So the first one I used was through my own contemplation and meditation. So before I started illustrating this book, I meditated on a quote from the Baha'i writings by Baha'u'llah, and it's a hidden word. And this is very sacred to me, and so when I meditated on it, it elevated my own thinking, my own thoughts, and allowed those to be infused in a way into the book. So the quote I contemplated goes like this: O Son of Being, thy heart is my home. Sanctify it for my descent. Thy spirit is my place of revelation. Cleanse it for my manifestation. So even though I don't really understand fully what these words mean, it helped me be inspired and it gave me a jumping off point. So images and ideas and smells and sounds are what was the inspiration for the images in this book. And so I created a series of 7 images. And then the second thing that I did to make this book a little bit unique is that I told the story through the pictures. So instead of repeating the text and the pictures having the same information in them, when you look at this book, you'll see there's a cute little story about a little boy, and he goes into a house and he finds a little girl, and she's maybe praying or meditating or just reading, and they spend some time together, and then they decide to do an act of service, and so they clean their house, and then they decide to go out and clean the world. So it's a very simple little story, but that is told in the images, and I think it's really important for us as adults and as children to learn to read images and not just words, so that when we see a picture, we can gather so much more information out of it and not just look for a couple seconds and move on, or otherwise just sometimes when we read a book, we just read the words and we flip through the images. So in this one, I wanted the story to be in the pictures. So the pictures are obviously really important. So that's the second technique I used. And then the third technique I used was that just allowing the text itself to be poetic and contemplative rather than descriptive and plot-driven. So the text, they're almost like little captions, little poetry, and they refer to memories, to thoughts, to smells, to sounds that inspire me and hopefully will inspire you. So that's the third thing I did. I think it's really important to expose children to poetry and to art when they're younger, and poetry that might be complicated or even just simply more meaningful than sometimes the very simplistic books that we often expose them to. So that was why I made this book, and I wanted you to know a little bit about the reasons why I did certain things when making it. So I hope you enjoy it, and if you have any questions, you can email me. My email address is angelarout25@hotmail.com. And please, you can also leave a comment below and let me know what you think about these ideas and whether or not you think these actually did help you in having a meaningful conversation within your family.